Why, hello dear viewer, and welcome back to a new video of mine, Deep Dog Proletarian, as you know. And, well, today we've got a few things before we start out with the video, probably the thing you're interested in anyway. So first of all, I changed my profile pic again because I like doing that. I've got a few profile pics prepared, you know, just to change up the system a bit. I find it kind of dull if I just use the normal original version, and even though it looks cute, it's obviously not really that amazing. And so I thought, you know, changing up the hats and the style a bit. This time I decided to go for summer, you know, with like the little sun shirm and stuff, and the hat and the sand. I just decided, you know, could work a bit, you know, just try out different styles, and maybe you would like, so you have got some ideas or something. You can obviously propose, that's no problem, and I just hope that it pleases you to look at it. So, and before we talk about that one, talk about the real topic of this video. You mad lads actually did it. Over 1,800 people viewed my bloody video about the ants, and I thought that was a shitty video, to be honest. Had I known that famous people were going to look at it, or, well, that many people, I would have kinda done something else. Because prior to that video, the other two videos, my stream, which, well, of course, kinda expect that doesn't get that much, but also the reaching 200 video, or the, Hungry Night video, they didn't get that much, so I just thought like, oh, my hype might be over. And then over like a course of a few days, bam, the Ant Tribe video gets over 1,800 views, and it's getting viewed by Mossbag, as I was told privately by himself, or he already saw it, I don't know. And that made me really regret releasing that video in that state. I would have done much more work if I'd known that like people like Mossbag would actually watch that. And he even stumbled across my channel, and it was very positive what he told me, and I was very excited because what the hell, why would anybody find my channel? We've reached 224 subscribers, by the way, well, current point when I'm recording this, and that is also simply incredible. I am very proud of you people for helping Deep Dog Proletarian grow, even though I'm just a small shitty channel with a shitty channel with a few videos which get a decent amount of views sometimes, so thank you people. Kiss. And today now we're going to focus on one of the most talked about characters, or well, talked about sort of parts about Silksong, which is a boss, more accurately a Kickstarter boss, or a Kickstarter character you might also ask, Deadly Backer boss as it's called here, known as Steel Assassin Sharpe. And he was originally going to be a boss for the Playable Hornet update, you know, for the extra DLC, for the Hornet DLC, which they had, and then that turned into a game, as we all know. You know the story, you know the drift. And so the question remains if Sharpe will appear, but it's most likely, because why wouldn't he? That if they're going to bring it in the Hornet update, then they're definitely going to bring it into the game. So you can see a small animation of Sharpe here. Basically uses his long black nose, which looks like a Pinocchio nose, by the way, to strike at Hornet, and he's also described as Hornet's rival, which is interesting because I kind of sort of lace as Hornet's rival, you know, two females battling it out and fighting her multiple times. It's kind of that's a bit weird. Maybe they changed the role of Sharpe, that it used to be that he was more important in the DLC, and now he's just kind of in the game, he's just another boss, or maybe you fight him multiple times but in different circumstances and stuff. Who does he work for? Absolutely no idea. There's gone a special kind of part of the Hollow Knight fandom where they just basically discuss who are Sharpe's masters, who are they. Some have speculated perhaps they are Chakra's masters, you know? Maybe her missing master is also the master of Sharpe. Maybe Sharpe is her master. That would be really weird, but probably not. But others, which is a more likely possibility, have drawn conclusions between Jin, I think it was Jin, in the first game. You know, the steel guy who looks like a bit like a golem or a statue who just rests there and he talks really weird. Some have kind of contemplated that he might be in a connection to Sharpe because they maybe share the same masters. The conclusion they draw from that is because they also have like an ominous master, so ominous masters, that's like two of them, and we still haven't met them, so maybe they're the same. And also steel, and the other one has also got like kind of steel. They maybe had a different color shade, I think, but it's still basically the same. You know, it's still basically the same kind of part of it, of steel stuff. So who knows? And you can see this design a bit closer here. He's got like long, weird legs, like pointy legs, a long pointy nose, like his steel armor plate on the shoulders, and sort of like a helmet, which would probably attribute to him that he's not that easy to fight, because maybe his attacks on his head would not damage him. Probably they do, but it would be kind of an interesting gimmick. And then you also see his hands, sorta, his bug hands. They're like little slices, like little knives, sorta. Grappling, maybe he always maybe use them for climbing. That would be interesting to see him climb on the wall and stuff. But he seems like a very well professional assassin, tasked obviously with killing Hornet and stopping her from reaching her journey. And it's also said that he works in a team, which is interesting because most bounty hunters or assassins usually work alone, because they are not the most amiable people. Because of course they are. But he has companions, and it's unclear why they are pursuing Hornet. The reason could be obviously that, simply put it, that other enemies of Hornet have hired these people just to get rid of, well, Hornet, so that she doesn't reach Farloom's top, or doesn't free Farloom of the curse or something. Maybe the people who brought the curse into the land don't want it lifted, of course, that kind of makes sense. And I also just kind of got, like, from thinking about it, how many people want Hornet dead? I mean, Jesus Christ. You've got, like, the cult and the different enemies, and there's also Lace and her gang, because they're obviously not alone, I think. And you've got, like, these assassins and their bloody masters who might be evil. It's just, Jesus. So, and they've got, like, a trio going on here with, you can see, like, this version here. Bigger guy, nearly twice as big as Sharpe. He's got like also claw hands, or like big steel and pointy hands. Look pretty fearful. And I first kind of thought it was like a wall crab, you know, hanging, or like a roof crab, you know, hanging from the bloody top of the room and just clawing at you. Those kind of look like maybe like something that would be claws, but obviously I was completely wrong. Instead, it looks perhaps like this, which is known at least since the reveal trailer, that might be another assassin. And he's, well, of course, a companion of Sharpe, as I already said, and he also resembles Jin again, you know, from the design, like the steel thing, the kind of grey outlook of it. And he also looks very closely, and probably is the form here, so we already kind of guess that that's probably him. I mean, there's probably not going to be any that looks more like that one than this here. And he's also got another little companion, so maybe he's like little things which he can spawn. And he seems to be firing off lasers, that little dude, and firing them at Hornet. And he probably can throw them or spawn them. He's maybe like an engineered type of assassin. And people have kind of speculated how these assassins even work, because people don't think it's going to be like a normal concept where you just fight these guys and that's it, you know, like a normal boss. But maybe that they appear often in the game, or maybe appear like in certain situations, and you have to either flee of them because you can't damage them, like maybe for the steel and stuff, or you have to sort of find another way to damage them, to maybe make the armor go away and stuff. It looks very, very professional, by the way. It looks, the design on these characters is it's mucho grande. Whoever designed that backer boss, kiss to you, my friend. And he appears in the coral zone, which is weird because it's not really like sort of his type. You know, it doesn't seem like he's like a native to that area. It's not like a crab or something, or might be a crab under. That would be interesting. If you like blow off his arm and then it's a bloody crab or something. But who knows where he came from? They might have come from a distant country or a distant part of the land, and that would also be kind of interesting, you know, to see where they came from. And it's by Jasper Boodram, I'm just reading. Okay, so thank you, Jasper Boodram, for this interesting character. And yeah, they don't give a lot of information. They say like, yeah, let's properly introduce you to him, and then like half a sentence later they're just like, who are they? Well, they're pursuing Hornet. Well, we don't know. We just basically know they're traveling in a pack of trio. And then there's also the Steel Hunter 2, which is this character, this little character here, the the whole design looks pretty cool, I must admit, like him standing there and stuff. So you can kind of imagine him being kind of the same height as Hornet, maybe a bit taller. I'm kind of unsure. And I used this design prior I kind of used it for my King of Farlum video, like as a template, but obviously he's not going to be the King of Farlum, that would be stupid. But he seems to have like little horns and maybe something, it's like a kind of cloth around him, I would kind of say. It kind of looks like, or maybe it's hair, could be hair. And he's also got like little pointy legs, so he's definitely the smallest of the trio, at least from like what I would go on here. And perhaps his eyes are something like small up here, and he's covered in like some form of cloth, or maybe armor, because of course they all seem to have like this steel type, like they all seem to carry steel, so obviously maybe the third one is also going to have steel attributed to him. And that's like most of what I know, or most of what is known. There's heavy speculation going on again from where these guys might come from, who might hire them. Are they going to turn friendly, or probably not? I mean, since when have bounty hunters turned friendly? Maybe if you offer them enough gold, they may be pissed off, but I mean, otherwise they look pretty determined to killing you. And from what we've seen in the real trailer, which is basically nothing about Sharpe, but only about this fellow here, about this type of boss, they seem to be pretty hard to fight. Maybe they can't even be damaged, because you see like Hornet fleeing from the laser and springing atop the bloody wall and stuff, and it doesn't even look like a real boss moment, more like an enemy moment usually. But these guys kind of look too tough to just be normal enemies, right? So who knows? What is your speculation on these steel hunters? What is their purpose? Well, purpose we already know, they're going to track the Gold Hornet, yeah. But for which reason? Who has hired them? What's going to be their gimmick in game? Do you know more than I do? Probably yes. Maybe you found some secret information. And probably there's going to be more info on these people later. Maybe even in the next update we're going to see a sneak peek of the third Steel Hunter. What's his design going to be? You know, of that little fellow. Maybe we're going to get a small sneak peek, like, hey, that looks like that one, and you don't know what it does, but it looks like that. That would be interesting. I kind of hope for getting an update soon, but I wouldn't advise you to take my words for God's words, because I don't know if it's going to happen. So, dear fellow viewers, whatever, leave your answers and your comments down below, you know, the usual stuff, and tell me, what do you think of the Steel Assassins? What is their... I already asked these questions, but again, what do you think they do? Because they are probably some of the most mysterious characters in the whole game, because they don't seem like natives to the country, obviously, of course. They don't seem like they're coming from Farlum, or they might, who knows. Maybe there's like a whole area called Steel Area or something. Who are their masters? What are they doing? What is going on? What will happen to them? Will they just die and will nothing happen to them? Or will they maybe become companions among Hornet and fight to free Farlum of the bourgeois, of the evil curse and stuff? So leave your answers down below, and I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.